So you might be wondering, is it really possible to buy a house at 18 years old? I mean, come on, you're basically out of high school at 18, or hell, you might be even in high school. But yeah, you know what, guys? It's actually very possible to buy a house at 18. I wish my parents had shown me how to do it. They obviously didn't know. Immigrant parents, they didn't know how to buy a house in the first place. So in this video, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to buy a house at 18 years old, and let's get going right now. So enough talking about it. Oh, and by the way, this is from the knowledge of a mortgage guy, okay? I'm not selling you guys anything. I'm basically going to give you guys the knowledge on how to get a house if you're basically 18, which is the legal limit to buy a house. If you guys didn't know, you don't have to wait until you're 21, by the way, to get a mortgage. You can be 18 years old. That's the minimum age to get a mortgage loan in 2021. So basically, this is how you're gonna do it, guys, and I'm gonna make it really simple. All right, so typically speaking, mortgage lenders are gonna want three things from you guys, and this basically is gonna be whether you're 18 or you're not 18, you're 20, 21, or whatever. Okay, there's basically I can't even talk right now because I'm so excited to show you this. But listen, there's basically three main requirements when it comes to getting a mortgage loan. Obviously, if you're 18, maybe you got an inheritance, and man, that's pretty cool if you did. But if you probably will need a loan anyways to go and get a house in the first place, just like most people do. So there's basically three things that you are going to need to get a mortgage loan, and it's basically income, credit, and assets. So let's go ahead and go over the income first, because this is exactly where you need to be focusing on. Well, you got to focus on all three, but this is really kind of the little trick that I'm going to give you, okay? Most people don't know, but education counts towards employment history. Every mortgage lender, to get a mortgage loan, every mortgage lender is going to want 2 years of income. And obviously, if you are in high school, unless you're doing odd jobs or working a part-time, it's really hard for you guys to have 2 years of income, whether you're working for a company or maybe you're doing some odd jobs here and there, cutting grass or whatever the case might be. But high school education, or pretty much any education, counts as employment history. And this is extremely important, because if you go to high school for 4 years, it's like you basically were working for 4 years. That's the way we see it. So if you guys get out of high school, you graduate, and you go and get a job, and now make sure that the job is full-time and they pay you with a W-2, okay? So no part-time jobs. Part-time is not going to help you guys at this very moment, because the whole trick about this whole thing is to get a job that pays you with a W-2 and it's full-time income. And the lender is going to take that income to qualify you. So make sure that you get an offer letter and you get a few pay stubs under your belt, and the mortgage lender is going to take that income. Now, some lenders might ask you to at least have 1 year of income for the full-time job that you just got, because obviously you never generated any money. So some lenders might want to play it a little bit safe, and they want to see that you have, at least 1 year on a W-2, okay? But listen, that doesn't mean that you can't get a job at, say, 17, a part-time job at 17, and then you graduated, and then now you got a full-time job, and now the lender is going to be able to take some income, because now you can say, well, listen, I was working part-time, now I'm full-time at this new position. So that might actually do it for you guys. So that's one trick that most people don't know, that education counts as employment history, and that's going to help you guys a lot. It's the same thing as if you went to college and you want to get a house right out of college. Well, college counts as education, okay? Now, the second thing that you guys are going to need is going to be credit. And obviously, if you're just 18, 17 years old, or 19, then, maybe your credit history might not be that big, because obviously you're just, I don't even know if they give credit cards to 17-year-olds in the first place. But if you don't have any credit, this is the time for you to start building credit right now. And what you need to do is, first and foremost, you want to hop on your parents' credit cards as an authorized user. Now, make sure that your parents pay their bills on time. So if they have credit cards and they're behind on them, you don't want to jump on those credit cards. You want to get on credit cards that actually have a good payment history, because what happens is when you get added as an authorized user, you actually inherit the whole history of your, whoever holds the credit card, whoever's name is on there. So I'm going to say your parents. So you will definitely, inherit the history on those credit cards Okay, but just make sure that those credit cards were actually paid on time. This is pretty much the first step on building credit. And then obviously now once you have a FICO, then the next step is for you to go and get your own credit card. So you can go and get a secure credit card. And as a matter of fact, you don't even need credit to get a secure credit card. So if you don't have parents that have good credit and they don't have good credit cards, then first step for you is gonna be go and get a credit card, a secure credit card from a bank. And you can just Google some of those options online. Make sure that you get a reputable, secure credit card where basically the credit line is tied to how much money you have in, like in a debit checking account or something like that. Typically, they'll start like a $200-300. It's really easy. You don't need credit to get those. And that's how you're gonna be able to start building your credit score. So you need to build your credit scores right now. Now, good news for you guys, it's gonna be the fact that when you start new credit, normally your credit scores, unless you miss a payment, if you guys miss a payment on something, on a credit card or a loan or something like that, then you guys are pretty much fucked, okay? Sorry to say that, but you guys pretty much are fucked because you don't have any credit history. So you wanna make sure that if you do get a secure credit card or any credit card whatsoever, make sure that you pay that thing on time and pay it off in full, because you will start at a very high credit FICO, but if you make any mistakes, it'll plummet all the way because you don't have any history to back you up. And that's the problem when you're just 17, 18, 19 years old, okay? So as a matter of fact, before you turn 18, you need to be working on these things. Start kind of grinding the gears. Okay, I need to go and get a secure credit card. Once I turn 18, maybe, obviously the bank might not give me a credit card at 17, but once I turn 18, bam, you wanna go and get that credit card, okay? Now, be very, very careful with credit cards. Don't run up the limits. Pay your stuff on time. And don't be irresponsible, because being irresponsible is going to screw you over multiple times and for a while, because once again, you don't have any history to back you up if you miss a payment or if you run up the credit limit, all right? And finally, number 3, you guys, you need money, you need assets, all right? And I'm not talking about physical assets. Mortgage lenders don't care about you having a car. By the way, most cars are not really assets. They're just liabilities. But we don't really care about any physical things. We care about money in the bank. So listen, to get a house as a first-time home buyer, like how you will be, you just need at least a 3% down payment. And because you might not come out of high school and make more than 80, 90,000, 70,000 a year, you might qualify for programs that will help you with the interest rate. It will help you with the mortgage insurance, so that the monthly payment tends to be a little bit lower than if you were a repeat buyer. And you guys want to look at the home ready loan or the home possible mortgage. These conventional loan options only require a 3% down payment. And when you have really good credit scores, you're going to end up with an excellent interest rate as you are buying your first home, and it's going to be your primary home. Okay. So from this point forward, not only you can just buy your house, but you can also start thinking about things like house hacking. So, get a roommate to, help you pay part of the mortgage, or you can Airbnb a room or do something like that. If you buy a house with a basement, then you have even more possibilities to house hack and pretty much end up living for free, which is a 3% down payment, which is going to leverage, obviously the fact that the bank is going to give you a lot more money. Now, in this market right now, I'll be extremely realistic with all of you guys. In 2021, it's really hard for home buyers to get a house because there's really not many houses out there. There's a very huge shortage in inventory. And so typically when you guys go and buy a house, in the past, or it has been normal for sellers to pay your closing costs. So closing costs are not really, they're not part of your down payment, but they're actually cost of buying a house, of buying a piece of real estate. Closing costs can be as expensive as pretty much putting a down payment. They go from 2% all the way to 3% depending on your purchase price. So you guys want to make sure that you have probably about 5% for, the whole overall transaction cost. So you have the 3% down payment, and then you have a 2% for the closing costs. Now, here's the cool thing, guys. And listen, for some of you who have the opportunity to have this and the availability of maybe your parents gifting you money, this is completely legal. Your parents could give you a gift for your down payment and your closing costs. So instead of maybe asking mom or dad for a $10,000 loan to go and buy a car, or $10,000 to go and do some stupid shit, you can just go and ask your mom or dad to just gift you money for your transaction, for your down payment and the closing cost. So there you guys have it. That could be an option right there too. Obviously, at this point in your life, if you've done things right, and I mean, I can't really imagine if you're just 17, 18, 19 years old, you've done, too many wrong things, at least financially at this point, then all the money that you've earned in the past from part-time jobs and odd jobs and things like that, you should have it at least, put away in a savings account. I mean, you were living for free with your mom and dad, right? So you should at least have a little bit of a nest egg already for this, okay? And that's basically how you guys do it. So hopefully this video was really helpful for you guys. Honestly, I wish I had been taught these things when I was in high school. And I think honestly, like these are some of the things that obviously I feel like is completely wrong with education, with public education. Or I went to a public school. I don't know about private education, but honestly, nobody taught me how to buy a house. And I feel like this, at least, a 10 little minute video, it would have taken me along, it would have taken me real far. But I didn't learn how to buy a house until I turned 22 when I got in the mortgage industry. You know what I mean? And I realized really how easy it is if you got your stuff put together. So that's basically it, guys. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. And, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of you young guys who, who instead of maybe, getting out of the house and start paying rent, if you have a little bit of cash and you have good credit, or now kind of how to get started. Obviously, this is a very easy crash course on getting your credit scores and things like that on this whatever 9-10 minute video. But at least take this blueprint so that you can go ahead and buy your house for the first time. And if you get in at 18, 19, believe me, in a couple years, you can go and buy another house, and in a couple years later, you can do another one. And next thing you know, it's like now you have 4 or 5 properties by the time you're 30. I mean, it could really be like that. And I'm actually gonna make some videos about that, because honestly, you could keep doing this, as time goes on, and it doesn't have to cost you a bunch of money. And if you get started early, then you guys are gonna see some great things. And I've been really blessed to show some people how to do this stuff. And I really wish, once again, that I had been able to do it when I was 18, 19, but I didn't. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.